A harmless trickster in his country and a wanted criminal in another. This is the controversial case of Richard O'Dwyer, a British student who's facing extradition to the US over alleged internet piracy. In the UK, if he was found guilty, he would most likely get off with a fine, but in the States, he would face a much worse fate. RT's Ivor Bennett has more.
On the surface, they're a picture of calm, but these are very anxious times for Richard O'Dwyer and his family. The university student's facing possible extradition to America for alleged copyright infringement. He ran a website providing links to pirated videos. It wasn't a problem for British authorities, but Richard's nevertheless a wanted man.
You know, it's really just awful. Frightening because, you know, if Richard had done anything wrong, we were quite happy for him to be responsible for that in this country where he was at all times.
Their case is now being heard at this magistrates' court in London, the latest chapter in Julia's struggle to keep her son at home.
They told us that the criminal investigation in the UK had been dropped, so it was like a bit of a sigh of relief. But in the next sentence, they said, we've got an extradition warrant to America, and then you must go to the court immediately. I thought he was going to be extradited like that day.
Richard's website TV Shack was a free signpost to pirated content, including the latest Hollywood blockbusters. None of it was actually provided by him, but that doesn't matter to America. It says the site breached their copyright laws and claims he's theirs to punish because the website's lucrative advertising was aimed at US consumers. This court is where Richard O'Dwyer's fate will be decided. It rides on whether or not his actions are considered to be a crime in the UK. This trial was his last chance to put forward his defence, and now it's up to the judge to decide. But according to digital law experts, the decision's not a tough one to make.
It's quite possible that he's only guilty of a civil offence, and that offence is, something he could potentially get fined for. It's clearly a UK case as well, because he was doing this in the UK. It's not really any case for him to be extradited to the United States. It's not clear that he was infringing copyright in the United States at all.
Britain signed the extradition treaty with America in 2003. Nearly a decade on, controversy still surrounds it. The US can extradite whoever it wants without proof or hearing, privileges the UK doesn't get. The treaty was a must-change for the government while in opposition, but a recent review it commissioned just deemed the treaty still fair. Several leading MPs refused to agree, though, with the Commons Home Affairs Committee calling for changes.
Was it a mistake in the first place to sign this treaty, do you think?
I think it was a mistake. It's not a level playing field. Even with a partner like America, we need to make sure that we are being equal and we are being fair to our citizens, and that is not the case at the moment.
Opposition against the extradition treaty is growing in Westminster. Dissenting MPs have just forced through a debate on it later this month, and the parliamentary review on it is due in the new year. All this, though, may be too late for Richard. He has just 2 weeks until he learns whether America will get what it wants. Ivor Bennett, RT, London.